So communication, very important. A lot of times agencies get very busy. They don't communicate with their customers.
And that's usually a big red flag. If you're working with a agency or a marketing provider and they're not asking tons of questions about your business, about what you've done, etc. in the past, that's probably a red flag right away.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Digital Marketing Made Simple show. Every Wednesday, Roberto, the marketing genius, and I come to you live at 5 Eastern Standard Time. The purpose of the show is to bring you tips and tricks on how digital marketing is made simple. That's if you know what you're doing. So my main man, Rob.
Yes,
Got
sir.
a few questions for you today.
All
Bring
right.
some good value to our viewers.
I look forward to it. Let's do it.
So, first, why hire a full-service marketing agency?
Excellent question. The best answer I could give you for that in one short, sweet sentence is that you're hiring a team of experts. If you're hiring the right agency, you're hiring a team of experts versus hiring someone that does a little bit of everything. And what does this do for you and for your business and for your advertising dollars? Simple. It puts every dollar to work in the best effective way possible. And when you have a team of experts crafting your campaigns, you really get the best of all worlds. So you have someone that has an expert in campaign strategy. You have someone that's an expert in social media, someone that's an expert in copy, and so on. So long story short, you're able to get the best results for your advertising dollars when you choose the right agency. And the right agency should have a team of experts employed for every position. And that's how we roll here at The Best Media.
Great answer. So, you know, this full-service marketing agency, you know, they got to have a mixture of strategy, market analysis, a team of professionals. Now, you know, these are not people that just came out of school. These are people that have been doing this for some time, went through a bunch of trial and error,
Yep.
live and breathe marketing and branding. As we know, there's a lot of agencies out there that use outsourcing.
Absolutely.
What's your thoughts on that?
I've seen situations, and, you know, through my 18 years, we've even outsourced when needed. However, I've always had the best experience and results with an in-house team. There's so many challenges when you're outsourcing, working with contractors that are at different locations, especially if they're overseas, different time zones. Not as easy as people think to manage people remotely, especially in different time zones. But, yeah, contractors can be effective, but what I found is you're probably going to go through 10 to 20 before you find one that is a good fit for you. So if you don't have the time and you don't have the budget to waste on trial and error and seeing who is a good fit for you contractor-wise, you will literally spend more money going through that process, and even worse, more time. Yeah. Time is the most valuable resources we all have.
So you would agree that you would agree that the well, I just lost my train of thought there.
Yeah,
you would agree some of the best media success is having professionals and experienced marketing geniuses on board in each department.
Well said, absolutely. And
you're not opposed to hiring contractors.
No, you know, I've always believed in hiring people that are experts in their field. So I myself, do I know how to film a video? Yes. Do I know how to edit a video? Yeah, you know, I got the basics, but I could never do what our man Jeffrey does here. Jeffrey is able to create and edit videos in a way that is way above my level of expertise and experience. So if you want a half-ass video, yeah, I could do that, but that's not what I'm looking for. If you want a great job, done well, done efficiently, and that's going to bring you ROI, positive ROI, you need to go with the experts that have the proven track record and experience.
What should you expect from a full-service marketing agency?
Quick progress on your campaigns. You should expect lots of questions, tons of planning and strategizing. The more questions the agency asks of you to learn about your business, your struggles, what has worked, what hasn't worked, etc., the more information they have to work with and create an actual campaign that's gonna work and convert and be profitable for them. Transparent reporting, something that our clients absolutely always rave and rant about. They love that we communicate with them every week, we report to them, and we give them full data transparency, because that's huge. Instead of saying, look, you spent $1,000 with us, you got 5,000 clicks to your website, and that's it. What kind of information does that give you? Instead, we like to get really deep and say, look, this is where the traffic came from. We had 2,000 clicks from Facebook. This is how much you spent on Facebook. Your cost per click was this on Facebook. And even more importantly, your cost per lead or cost per acquisition from Facebook ads was as follows. So this is giving you full data transparency and information and knowledge, so you can make the right decision to say, do I continue with this? Do I amplify, or do I need to tweak and modify? You can also expect 24/7 support and service. And a dedicated account and project manager, I think, is very important. So for our clients, they're able to reach out to us daily if needed, and we're always there to support them, answer any questions, and set them in the right direction as needed.
So let's break this down. Transparency, definitely.
Huge.
Reporting, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the reporting is not done, how do you measure things?
Exactly.
Of course, you can measure. You know what I mean? A campaign can be measured with dollars. You can measure it. Am I making money? Am I not? But to get there, there's certain steps that need to be taken. So you go through the trial and error. You go through a bunch of things that you guys do, to run these mean and lean campaigns. So if you don't have the proper reporting, the proper tools, it's going to be very difficult to know if it's actually working.
Absolutely.
And before you know, you've already spent a ton of money. And this is a big problem. Would you agree? And a lot of people that go ahead and do it themselves, if they don't know what they're doing, they'll end up spending a lot of money. And it's very costly.
Absolutely.
If they don't have the right reporting tools.
Let's go back to when I started doing Facebook ads. At the beginning, it was extremely challenging. Not even just a little, extremely challenging. And it was more simple back then. Now they've added a wealth of features and options and placements and targeting that it's really, really complex to understand how to get it done well. So that's only done through experience. So when you pay an agency, you're basically paying for their experience, all their, the learning curve that they went through to understand what works, what doesn't work, and so on. And they're not learning on your dime. This is huge. If you hire someone, your sister's cousin or your nephew does Facebook ads, and this is something that he does on the side, he doesn't do it as a career, as a passion, I would be concerned with how effective are your ad dollars being spent.
And it's not going to be simple.
And oftentimes they're learning on your dollar, whereas a expert in Facebook advertising will have already made all the mistakes that person is going to make on your dollar. They went through all of the experiences of succeeding in campaigns, failing, and optimizing, and etc. So yeah.
Communication, very important.
Huge.
A lot of times agencies get very busy. They don't communicate with their customers, or vice versa. And you've been through this before. Customers don't communicate with the agency as often as we want them to. And they just expect us to kind of figure out what is it that they really want. So it's very important that the customer, the client themselves, is communicating effectively on what they want, so we can get a full understanding.
Yep.
You know what I mean? First thing the doctor asks you when you walk into his room or his clinic is, what's the problem? And if you don't tell him what the problem is or symptoms that you have, it's going to be very hard. It's going to take time for him to figure it out. You're just stalling the process, right?
Just imagine a doctor trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and you're not giving him the accurate answers to his questions. You're going to make that doctor work 10 times harder to get to the diagnosis of what's wrong with you.
So both parties got to communicate.
Absolutely.
And it's your job, the agency's job, to ask the right questions. And not every agency asks the right questions. A lot of them just think of the bottom line. They want to make the money, and they'll give short-term results.
And that's usually a big red flag. If you're working with a agency or a marketing provider and they're not asking tons of questions about your business, about what you've done, et cetera, in the past, that's probably a red flag right away.
I agree. Honesty. Big thing.
Huge.
Yeah. Honesty.
Honesty and integrity. And honestly, the way Dave and I roll here at the Best Media, if we believe that we cannot truly help your business grow online, we will tell you. We will not take your money and perform services that we do not believe in ourselves. So we've always had the honesty and integrity to let our customers know. And sometimes honesty and telling the truth can hurt. Yesterday, I was on a consultation call with an insurance broker in Oakville, and long story short, he was going after high-end clientele. And he had a video that they made, and he was showing me the video, and the content was great, but the presentation looked like a 5-year-old did it, or someone in grade 5, meaning the graphics, it was very amateur.
So how did you explain that to him?
So
I'm sure you didn't tell him that this was a 5-year-old presentation.
I basically had to, gently advise him that, hey, you're going after a specific clientele that is, high net worth individuals. So they're going to expect premium service from you, and your brand needs to reflect that. If you're presenting content that looks, even though the content is amazing, if the production and the visuals are poor, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to believe that you're the right solution for their problem. So I had to gently advise them that although the content was great, the visuals and the overall production was amateurish, and please don't be offended, but I have to be honest with you, because if we are going to work together, it's in my best interest to make you succeed so we can continue to do business in the long term. And
you brought that to his attention because you wanted to be honest. You understand what it's going to take to get to where he wants to go. So I'm sure you did ask him the question, what is it that you want out of this campaign? What's your audience? What's your target? And all the stuff that you ask to in order to build a proper campaign. So yeah, it's very necessary to get that. And I think my third question here was, how do you know which agency is the right one? And I think we kind of answered a little bit of that in some of the things that you've mentioned. But obviously results, right?
Absolutely.
Results driven. That's
Absolutely.
what people want. People want results. They want results. They want to make money. They want results. But in this business here, I think it's important that clients, a lot of clients and customers, they don't understand that they play a big part. It's not just like, writing a check, here you go, agency, do what you got to do. No, we really need to know a lot about the business, and we have to ensure that they're able to handle the pipeline that we could, help them with. Right?
Absolutely.
Because what good is it to get all these leads and do all this marketing for them if they're not ready for it? So,
and even speaking about results, sorry to cut you off there, but results, what type of results are you focusing on? So oftentimes I hear prospective clients telling me, I get tons of traffic to my website. I have people from all over the world visiting in Romania and Italy and Europe and Germany and this and that. And all I'm thinking in my head is, how is that making you money? Is that being profitable for you? So instead of the results being,
unless you want the results in
yeah,
Romania and Italy, right? In this case, what you're saying is that they're getting all this traffic, but that's not the traffic that's going to buy from them.
I again, what I would focus on instead of, I'm getting all this traffic, I would look at what is your cost per acquisition now. This is really what matters. So instead of saying, hey, client, I got you 10,000 visits to your website this month. Great, but how profitable was that for me? That's really how we define our results and the results you need to focus on. So don't focus on clicks or impressions. Focus on CPA, cost per acquisition. What is it costing you to acquire a new client? Or, sometimes depending on the type of product service you offer, you need to dumb it down a little bit and focus on your cost per lead. So at least a cost per lead can give you an accurate cost per acquisition after, because, for example, if you have a cost per lead of $10 and it takes you 10 leads to get a new customer, you know that your CPA or cost per acquisition is $100. And then you can understand, is this profitable for me? Is it worth for me to pay $100 through my online advertising efforts to acquire a new customer? And then it's simple. It's very, if your profit margin is $200 and it's costing you $100 to acquire a customer, you're making $100 profit net. So in that case, if we present this information to a client, it's a no-brainer. Let's amplify this. Let's see how high we can take this. For every $1 in, they're getting $2 back. So this is how we do our reporting, and this is what you should expect out of your agency when you hire them. It should be completely transparent, the data and the results, all of that.
So how important is it now in this crisis to ensure that you got the right agency?
Even more important, I find oftentimes when we look at other agencies that come up, because the competition here in Toronto is massive when it comes to digital marketing. Everyone considers themselves a digital marketer. They make a post on Facebook and they can classify themselves as a digital marketer. And instead, I'd have to look at a proven track record. What kind of reviews does the agency have? What kind of content are they producing on their social media channel? How long have they been around? Do they actually do what they're telling you to do, as an example? So we'll go on a competitor social media channels and they got like 86 followers, yet they're trying to sell you social media services, telling you that they're going to grow your social media channel when they're not even doing that for themselves. So you need to be very careful there and ask lots of questions. This is how you will understand what you need to understand in terms of making the right decisions. If you're making decisions and you're not understanding what you're deciding on, that's crazy. You need to be very clear on what decisions you're making, what results you should expect from that. And the last part of how do you know which agency is the right one, I often find that ones with an actual brick and mortar location often are the better choices. They've invested into a location. You can actually walk into that location daily. You can call them. They're available 24/7 or 7 days a week, So very important in terms of making the decision. And
yeah, that's so true, right? Because we go on so many sites sometimes and we don't even see an address on the website.
Yeah.
Got this fancy website, that looks like the company's worth billions of dollars, and there's no address. You call the number, no one picks up the phone. I laugh about it because I see it happening often, but it's not a laughing matter because people are getting scammed.
We call that a fugazi.
Fugazi.
I think that's the right term there, right?
That's the Italian
the
fugazi.
fake diamond. What was the movie from?
Goodfellas.
Oh, is it good? No, it's
yeah, in Goodfellas was fugazi. The diamonds.
Johnny Depp.
Not Goodfellas.
My God. I can't remember the movie.
It was the one that he was going in as a
diamond dealer there.
Yeah.
Can anybody remember what that movie's called? Comment, let us know below. Oh my God, I can't even. I know it's Johnny Depp in there, and Al Pacino, right? Yeah. Oh my
Donnie
God.
Brasco.
There we go.
Donnie
Dave
Brasco.
beat you.
Yeah, because
I
went back to the jacket I used to have.
That's right.
That's what
exactly.
clicked. Anyways, everybody, thanks for joining us live at 5. Digital Marketing Made Simple every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Roberto, the marketing genius, myself, drilling questions, and Jeffrey, our main man.
Comment, subscribe, show some love, show some hate, whatever. Let us know how you liking this or not.
We'll see you next week. Have a good day.
See ya.